And that's all that planner is doing, and I'll just quickly run through that now. So the planner is simply going to look at that goal that you're asking for, is it reasonable and necessary? So they're going to say, first of all, is what you're asking for, is it related to the person's disability? In your case, exercise, maintaining a level of functioning, so that, yeah, it is. It's related to FA. Okay, so you'd say it's related to disability, they'll tick that and go, yep. Then they'll say, well, is it related to day-to-day living costs? So they're not going to pay for your rent, power, food, all that sort of stuff, utilities. Every other Australian family pays for that. You'd be expected to do so. So the person's disability support pension, if they were getting one, would be paying that, or their job with their normal wages. And there's a little note here that says that are not related to a participant's disability support needs. That's really convoluted, but what they're trying to say is, say for example, someone was in a bed most of the time, unable to walk at all, unable to feed themselves, and they had get bed sores. What often happens is bed sores then damage the bed, and the bed needs to be replaced because of it. In that case, they would be able to claim that bed. Most people would not pay for their own beds, but in that case, because of the disability and because of what's happening, they pay for it. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it's just a bit of a disclaimer. The represent value for money, that really is bang for buck. And I think what you just said, that example, is a good case of value for money.
I just thought of it. I thought that's
if you had that investment in you to learn how to do that, to keep your level of functioning higher for longer, well, it saves them money in the long term. So that's value for money. It's a good investment to the NDIS, and that's what they're looking for. They want to see if what they're doing is a good investment. You just sell it to them. Say, yeah, we'll do this, and it's a good investment. And also, value for money goes back to those bottom four. So, I mean, if you can tick one or more of those boxes, then that's value for money. Okay? You just say, well, if you provide that support, it's going to help me to be more independent, it's building my capacity, and it also helps me to participate socially because I'm getting the support I need to do it. So if you use that language and set exactly that to a goal, the planner will go, yeah, no worries at all. Be likely to be effective and beneficial. Had a young man with ASD say to me, you want to be a gangster. It's not legal, so it's not particularly effective or beneficial, so it's got to be something that's good for the person with disability. Pretty straightforward. And the bottom one, take into account informal supports. What they're saying there is the naturally occurring supports, so husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, all that sort of stuff. What can they do? What are they able to do? They want to be able to complement that. Okay, so it's not about replacing them, but it's not about overworking them either. It's about finding the balance for the family. Okay, so there's a balance. All families have a balance, and that's the balance they need to find. What's their normal? Okay, what's their everyday? What's the life? How they want their life to be? We don't want to see carers that are completely stressed out providing care, and we see some pretty scary caring relationships. So it's really about making sure that's a sustainable relationship. So visually, you've got your goals. So you're sitting down in front of your planner. They talk about the things that you can't do that they're built into your plan. So your transportation costs, all taken care of. And then you've got your goals. They'll go, okay, it's a reasonable, necessary goal. I've gone through that process. The planner looks at it, goes, yes, it's reasonable, necessary. Then they go, okay, is there anyone in the mainstream currently doing that? Okay, so they're going to look to see whether anybody's already doing that, because it could potentially cost them no money. Okay, so they're going to try and find who else can do it that's not going to cost them. So they don't want to double up on funding. So if someone's already doing that support funded through philanthropy or funded through a different government organisation or whatever it may be, or it could be a non-profit organisation that's doing it, they'll look to see if that's there first. If it's not, they go, okay, what about the informal supports? What are they able to do? Okay, well, that person's working on the Wednesdays and Thursdays, and that's the day you want to do that goal, the NDIS will fund it. So that's the flow of the way they'll go through their steps. So the planner is fairly structured how they go through that process. Reasonable, necessary, okay, yep, it is. Does anyone in the mainstream do it? Informal supports, no, okay, we fund it. I did mention core supports before, and I sort of mentioned a bit about capacity building, but this is the way the NDIA talk about the funding. I think it's really good to get your head around this. Core supports are those enduring support needs. So because of your disability, there's support needs you're always going to need, and transportation clearly, if you're in a chair, is a big part of that. Okay, so with core supports, it's a flexible pool of funds. So if you've got transportation, personal care, a whole range of stuff built in there, it's flexible. If you saved a bit of money in one part, then you can spend it somewhere else. Okay, it's very flexible. It's a pool of funds that you can use flexibly. if they're talking about the funding they're giving you in a capacity building sense, such as the exercise program, they expect it to be used for that. You'd have to use it for that and that alone. You can't use it for something else. It's specifically for that.